I'm in the North Carolina Museum of Art, and I'm standing in front of an enormous three-part painting called Untitled by Anselm Kiefer. This work was created in the 1980s, between 1980 and 1986. And Kiefer was born in Germany in 1945 at the close of World War II. And really, during this time in Germany, there was definitely a lot of the aftermath of the war being present to the people, a lot of destruction and despair in all of German society. In a great deal of his work, Kiefer re-examines German history and criticizes it, especially dealing with World War II and the Holocaust. His artwork recalls the destruction and charred landscape of a war-torn country. And Kiefer believes that these events left a permanent scar on the souls of the German people and really all of humanity. This commentary that he provided on societal issues often sparked a lot of controversy, both to art critics and the German people, especially in his artworks where he made references to Hitler, very blatant references that were thought of as very offensive and about just things that really the German people did not want to relive. But he kind of brought them back into the surface, brought that pain back up and showed it in a way that many people thought was very offensive and controversial. I can infer that this painting has a similar subject. It definitely shows that same theme of destruction and despair that pervades many of his other works. This painting encompasses a variety of media. It's really not only just a painting. It has both sculptural and painting-like qualities to it, both two-dimensional and three-dimensional surfaces. It's sort of reminiscent of Rauschenberg's Combines, which combine these two elements together. The materials that he uses in this artwork include stones, lead, steel cable, and straw on photograph. And he puts all of these elements together in a very disarrayed manner, a very expressive and sort of unorganized way. Now, as I said, this work is done on 3 separate panels, and really all of them show an amount of abstraction and rough and blurred surfaces. However, in this abstraction, there's also a great deal of symbolism, especially in the middle panel. The center panel shows a ladder that is towards the top of the painting, and this ladder is made of lead, and lead was used by Kiefer as sort of an alchemical meaning. He used it in many of his artworks. This staircase leads to a lighter, more golden part of the artwork towards the top, and it is believed that this might have had a biblical meaning. For the biblical character Jacob was believed to have a dream about angels moving up and down a ladder from heaven to earth. Now, it's believed that this artwork has that meaning of this link between this heavenly, peaceful, otherworldly place to this destructive, earthly world. And when backing further away from the painting, a landscape can definitely be distinguished, especially towards the top of this center panel. Also, in the center panel, towards the bottom, there is a curved spiral-like figure that is believed to be a serpent. Serpents often have the connotation of resembling evil. So this painting shows a link between this evil and destruction to this peaceful place, symbolizing possibly redemption. Now, the 2 panels surrounding the center panel both have more of abstract qualities, less distinguishable parts to them. In the left panel, a series of large disarrayed rocks can be seen dangling from the top of the panel. These rocks symbolize the rubble and destruction that was left after the war in Germany. Around these rocks, the rest of the canvas is very blotched and disarrayed and has a lot of splattered paint and rough textures, all in very dull and bleak colors, as is the entire work. All the colors are very neutral and just very uninterested, bleak, and destructive. Now, in the right panel, there can be seen definitely more darker colors and really a mix of also splattered lead, splattered all throughout it, which also has that alchemical meaning that Kiefer likes to use. Towards the bottom, an undistinguished form can be seen, which is circular and has a bit of a gridded net over it. The splatter of dull and dark and very lacking excitement in the colors definitely provide a sense of destruction and despair and really loneliness in this work. This entire work shows a reference to the destruction and evil of Germany's past, and really the earth as a whole. Yet it also shows a little glimmer of redemption, possible redemption for the future. Standing in front of this work, I am in awe at its massive size. I feel troubled and disturbed, almost in a very personal way. I kind of feel like this painting is actually looking into my soul and showing things that I wasn't even sure are there, showing pain and truth to my feelings. The viewer is almost at war with himself, trying to make sense of all the different lines and splattered surfaces here. And the direct attention to the ladder in the center really brings this idea of kind of a long journey, a long, lonely journey, this long line that seems to never end. Its placement in the museum is towards the corner of a white blank wall, sort of on its own, really. And this definitely adds to the sense of loneliness and troubled self that this painting really brings about. I think that it leaves the viewer to stop quietly and just stare for a while, try to make sense of what they're feeling and what this painting is representing.